Tonight, One Nation calling for a new coal-fired power station for the region. And a reminder to remain vigilant and drive safe this Easter long weekend.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with Casey Treelaw begins now.
Good evening. One Nation's Pauline Hanson has visited the Eyre Peninsula today on her election campaign trail. She was joined by her SA Senate candidate Jennifer Game, who's calling for a coal-fired power station to be built in the region.
One Nation has South Australia in its sights. Leader Pauline Hanson is campaigning in regional SA, visiting Whyalla and Port Lincoln today.
We actually came within cooey of actually winning the last seat in the last elections.
She's touring with Senate candidate Jennifer Game. The former tax lawyer is concerned about the level of poverty and unemployment in our region.
18% of our children are living in households below the poverty line in grey, and that's an absolute disgrace.
She also wants a coal-fired power plant to help reduce energy costs, nominating this area as a potential site.
One of these high efficiency, low emissions one around here, and I mean around here.
Their energy plan is in contrast to Whyalla Steelworks owner Sanjeev Gupta, who's previously backed renewables as a cheaper option. But Ms Game wasn't buying into that debate.
I wish, Mr Gupta all the best, but we need a new coal-fired power station.
Senator Hanson also confirming the party will take on Rowan Ramsey in the seat of Grey, saying a candidate is ready to go.
He's got an ex-army background. I'm yet to meet him, so I'll be doing that on Thursday.
John Hunt, 7 Spencer Golf News.
The emergency department at the Whyalla Hospital has received an overdue security upgrade. Health Minister Stephen Wade confirming changes have been made to protect nurses. It comes after a number of violent incidents at the hospital, including a situation involving a knife.
The nurses' station now is completely enclosed by glass. Doors have been refitted to if you like, manage physical flow, and also the way we handle visitors.
He also says a statewide security review is underway and further improvements could be made if recommended. There's a development in the final extension of the Port Lincoln Leisure Centre, with the City Council set to take over as head contractor. It comes after the Adelaide-based construction company in charge of the project went into liquidation last week. Nathan Regter has more.
It's a response subcontractors have been waiting for, confirmation they'll still have work at the Leisure Centre redevelopment, with council set to terminate the contract with Unique Urban Built after an agreement between both parties couldn't be reached. The council announcing it will now take control of the project.
Our next step is we're looking at engaging a qualified project manager with the appropriate building licences to now oversee the project on behalf of council.
Meaning workers will be directly paid by the council instead of a third party. But that's too little too late for many frustrated local workers who've been left out of pocket since the Adelaide contractor went into liquidation last week.
Their issues now are with the liquidator, and we've been encouraging everyone to make sure that all their paperwork has been submitted so it's all up to date, so the liquidator knows exactly what they're dealing with.
With the situation resulting in construction delays.
It's going to delay it by approximately about a month, so we're most probably looking at realistically now completion in August.
The council will be holding a meeting with subcontractors tonight to update them on the project. Workers are expected to be back here at the construction site in the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Broken Hill Police will be out in full force over the Easter long weekend, targeting careless drivers on regional highways. Operation Tortoise will be run across all of New South Wales, starting at midday on Thursday.
Yeah, just enjoy the Easter period, take regular breaks and watch your speed, don't be on your mobile phone, and if you have a drink, then plan B.
Double demerit points will be in effect during the operation, meaning if you're caught using your mobile whilst driving, you'll lose 10 points. Meanwhile, police in the York and Mid-North are urging holiday goers to remain vigilant over the Easter weekend, with the holiday period being a notorious time for opportunistic theft.
The holiday period is a notorious time for opportunistic theft, and SAPOL would much prefer the public to be hunting for eggs rather than stolen property this Easter weekend.
So what we wanted to do is remind members of the public coming into the school holiday period and obviously over the Easter break, firstly to be vigilant around their property.
For those leaving home, it's always important to keep up appearances. Timing your sprinklers or getting someone to collect the newspaper off your driveway can make a difference.
Talking to their neighbours, letting them know they're going on holidays. Neighbours can be their eyes and ears while they're not at home.
It's also important to keep valuables and equipment safe and hidden when on vacation.
Keep everything locked up, be vigilant. If you're going to duck to the laundry to check your washing, make sure your van's locked.
People work hard to be able to afford things to enjoy on their holidays, so we want them to be able to look after that property themselves rather than giving it away to the first opportunistic person that comes along.
Police will be conducting extra patrols around popular holiday spots this Easter break and during the school holidays.
Keep things locked up and keep things safe, and you should have a wonderful weekend.
Dominic Beaton, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Regional courts across the Spencer Gulf are at risk of closure due to budget cuts by the state government. The Courts Administration Authority's recent visit to the region has raised concern the centralisation of courts may impact the public's accessibility to justice. Labor has said that slashing millions of dollars in funding will only mean longer delays to the system.
If there are further substantial cuts to their budget, they might have to consider closing courts. And certainly meeting with people who use courts in Port Pirie, they've let me know that that would be an absolute disaster.
It's added fear that people could be forced to travel to the city to face court. Still to come tonight, the Whyalla Hospital in for a multi-million-dollar upgrade and a lucky instant scratchy winner in Port Lincoln. Hello again. The federal government has committed more than $11 million to revamp the Whyalla Hospital. It'll see high dependency and accident and emergency placed next to each other.
Over 6 decades, the Whyalla Hospital has gone through 3 stages of development, some of it's new, while other areas are from another time.
It's a bit of a rabbit warren back there, with these facilities that are co-joined, but of different ages.
Currently, its emergency and high dependency units, which should be next door to each other, are on different floors. With time of the essence, it means nurses with similar skills are travelling back and forth. That'll change thanks to $11 million in funding from the federal government.
If you need some people quickly, high skilled, that are working with at the cutting edge, if you like, of delivering health services, they're right there.
Mr Ramsey says the funding is part of the federal budget and not an election promise.
It would be a very brave government indeed, regardless of their colour, that when it started ripping $11.4 million.
And the State Health Minister has welcomed the support.
Been a 15% increase in emergency department presentations. And with the development that's going on in Whyalla, we expect that to increase significantly. We need to make sure that our hospital is ready.
John Hunt, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
The state's Australian Conservatives Party candidate Rickie Lambert has vowed to reduce the rates of youth unemployment in regional SA if elected to the Senate in the upcoming federal election. More than 15% of youth in the Mid-North are unemployed, and Lambert says the focus in education needs to shift from universities to trades.
If you don't send young people, our best and brightest, into trades, you're actually diverting them into something that isn't necessarily going to give them a job.
The federal election is scheduled for May 18. An exciting new program will see Jamestown benefit from a unique community farming scheme. The Northern Areas Council has teamed up with the Jamestown Apex Club to farm a 12-hectare paddock. Council has donated water to be used for free on the Pivot irrigation project.
Just to be able to reuse that grey water. The benefit of what we're doing here is we can actually grow a crop off it, and then the money that we make off that can then go back into the community.
It's hoped $20,000 to $50,000 will be made each year through the harvest of valuable lucerne crops, with profits to go back into the community. The overwhelming popularity of Port Augusta's new $1.5 million training centre has meant extra courses have been added to meet demand. The facility boasts some of the only specialised civil training courses in the region.
Taking to the tools at Port Augusta's latest training facility. Since the Access Training Centre opened its doors at the end of last year, it has been swamped with workers looking to get valuable hands-on experience.
We've had to schedule extra courses to cater for the demand, and that demand has come from across the state.
The new facility allowing management to triple classroom sizes, with 3 training rooms now able to hold up to 33 students in each.
We're seeing students coming from Broken Hill, Ceduna, even Adelaide.
As well as being one of the only spaces north of Adelaide to hold specialised rigging training, many other high-risk courses are offered to students.
We're doing things like height safety, confined space, four-wheel drive, earth moving.
The $1.5 million building was officially opened at a ceremony yesterday, and regional development officials say it will help combat skills shortages in local industries.
It's a lot of those civil construction jobs and the skill sets that's needed, which ATC provide.
Garth Burley, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A Port Lincoln woman has won a whopping $50,000 on an instant scratchy ticket this week. She says she believes her late husband is looking down on her and had a helping hand in the win. The regular customer purchased the winning $4 ticket at the local chemist last Friday.
She said, "I'll have all of one kind," and that was this one, and one of them was a lucky one.
The local winner says she'll use the money for finishing renovations on the family home. Lock's Health Advisory Committee has been recognised for its work in road safety by taking out the Outstanding Contribution to Country Health Award in Adelaide last Friday. The committee being recognised for its Young Driver Training program, which aims at reducing the number of road deaths for L and P plate drivers.
Initially it was set up because we had a spate of accidents in our area and we were concerned about the youth not being able to handle different situations that arose in our area.
9 other organisations were also recognised in their work in country health. Broken Hill locals will get the chance to dive into the city's history with the 2019 Heritage Festival getting underway tomorrow night. The festival will feature a number of different events focusing on the city's mining and unions.
A rich history on show for all to see.
We're into our 3rd year. A lot of locals are looking into their own history and what makes them the people they are.
Tomorrow night we'll see the Broken Hill Heritage Festival commence with a dazzling light display on the Town Hall facade.
We're going to light it up. There'll be something special, so people have to come down and have a look to see what's so special, what's different.
After the launch, locals and visitors will get the chance to learn more about the city's mining and union history. There's a number of free walking tours and exhibitions to take part in, one of which will be a presentation of Broken Hill's migrant history at the Napradeck Club on Easter Sunday. An old-fashioned wheelbarrow race and even a chocolate fountain will be part of the multicultural event.
We'll be telling some fascinating historic tales about Slavs in the mines and the history of unionism.
The festival will run across 10 days with Miss Turley encouraging people to see and do as much as they can. Some of the events are ticketed. A full program of the festival can be found on Broken Hill City Council's website.
We really want to celebrate mining and unions in Broken Hill, what it means for our heritage and how it impacted us for the future.
Patrick Ryankey, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us after the break and look at the region's fuel prices, and we'll have the weather details leading into the long weekend. Welcome back, and it's time now to take a look at local petrol prices. Here's Patrick in Broken Hill.
Well, as many of us would have predicted, petrol prices have gone up substantially ahead of the Easter long weekend. Make sure you're shopping around for the best price. Starting with unleaded, and there is only one green arrow on the board, and it's for Whyalla. The Steel City averaging $1.41. Elsewhere it's red, Port Lincoln on $1.49, Port Augusta $1.45 after a 6-cent spike. Kadina has also jumped by 6 cents to average $1.43, 1 cent cheaper than Port Pirie. Broken Hill is close to the 150s. Some places are selling it at 6 cents more than the average. Adelaide has started the cycle once again, going from a cheap $1.33 to a pricey $1.59. Turning over to diesel now, and Port Lincoln is up a cent. Whyalla is down by 2 cents. Port Augusta is on $1.49. Port Pirie, Kadina and Adelaide are all breaking even on $1.48. Broken Hill is the most expensive of anywhere. We're paying $1.56. Finishing off with a quick look at Autogas, and most townships have seen red. Port Lincoln is paying 94 cents a litre. Whyalla is almost at $1. Port Augusta and Port Pirie are both on 89. Broken Hill is 1 cent dearer. Adelaide is the cheapest of them all, paying around 84 cents. Now, of course, remember that these prices are the regional averages and they do not reflect any one particular outlet. And if you do find a spot that does sell unleaded, auto gas or diesel for cheaper, be sure to let us know on our Facebook page.
Thanks for that, Pat, and time to take a look at what's happening in the weather heading into the Easter long weekend. Well, there are a few showers of rain across the Gulf today. Port Augusta and Whyalla were the warmest centres, reaching a top of 33 degrees. Port Lincoln 24, Broken Hill sunny and 32, Port Pirie 31, and it was 28 with some showers in Adelaide. On the satellite today, there was patchy cloud in the west with a trough producing some rain over the state. Skies were generally clear elsewhere under a ridge of high pressure. Looking at the waters for tomorrow, south to southeasterly winds around 15 to 20 knots, seas at 1.5 metres, and the sun will rise at 6:43 tomorrow morning and sunset at 5 minutes to 6. Some slightly cooler temperatures tomorrow. Port Augusta set for a top of 30 degrees, Whyalla at 25, Port Lincoln and Coffin Bay 21, Woodness sunny and 28, Corn 30, Broken Hill 27, Port Pirie 29, Clare and Cleve 23, Kadina 25 and Adelaide partly cloudy and 23. Moving ahead to the end of the week, and we're in for a windy start to the weekend. There'll be strong winds in Port Lincoln on Saturday, temperatures reaching 30 degrees. Cleve will warm up to 32 degrees on Friday with a cool change, and 21 for Easter Sunday. And a windy day for Woodner on Saturday, 32 the top there. A hot and windy day for both Whyalla and Port Augusta on Saturday, reaching temperatures in the mid-30s with a cool change expected for Sunday. Kadina could see some showers for Easter Sunday with 23 the top. Port Pirie in for a warm start to the Easter long weekend with 33 degrees on Friday and Saturday. A bit cooler for Clare, 21 by Sunday, and Broken Hill a sunny end to the week, 31 Friday, 32 Saturday. And that's it for the weather and your local news this Wednesday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later. Until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.